we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. We're fighting for a contract, we shall not be moved. We're fighting for a contract, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. We're stronger together, we shall not be moved. We're stronger together, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. We're fighting for an increase, we shall not be moved. We're fighting for an increase, we shall not be moved, just like the tree that's planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. Respect. We're fighting for respect, we shall not be moved. We're fighting for respect, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. Justice. We're fighting for justice, we shall not be moved. We're fighting for justice, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. With the workers behind us, the workers behind us, we shall not be moved. The workers behind us, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. We're stronger together. We're stronger together. We shall not be moved. We're stronger together. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the waters. We shall not be moved.
Hello, and we shall not be moved because we are stronger together. This is another episode of SEIU Says, your weekly union news show, making communities stronger, and making the workplace a magnificent place to be in. Why? Because you have representation. Today's episode of SEIU Says is sponsored by GWC. That's Goldberg, Weissman, and Cairo, Illinois' largest personal injury and workers' comp law firm. That's right. If you may have a case about workers' comp, if you have questions about workers' comp, or you know someone that may have questions or concerns about workers' comp, then we encourage you to give our member resource center at SEIU Local 73 a phone call. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, and this is Memorial Day weekend that's coming up. Happy Tuesday to everyone. I'm Charlie Bonds. I'm your host today for SEIU Says, and we're going to have a guest that's been coming in a little while. All right, so the number to our member resource center is 312-588-7630. That number is 312-588-7630. And it's a beautiful day outside. And given that, it's time for the SEIU Local 73 picnic. That's right. Mark your calendars, everyone. Mark your calendars. That's right. If you like to have fun, if you like to drink beer, if you like to have raffles, if you like to have fun and dance and you want to bring your children out to have a good time, and if you like delicious barbecue, then June the 28th, you need to be hanging out with us. That's right. SEIU Local 73 presents its 2014 annual picnic. That's right. And what's so magnificent about this picnic, everyone, is this picnic is free for all and your family members. So that's right. You can come out and you can bring your family members with you. I always have a saying that when you work hard, it's time to play hard. And when you're playing hard, you need to be at this picnic. And that picnic is going to be Saturday, January the 28th, 2014, from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. at the Miller Meadow Forest Preserve. That'll be Groves 5 through 9. And the address to that will be 2199 South 1st Avenue, and that's in Maywood, Illinois. It's going to be food, beer, raffles, music, dancing, games for kids. So bring your sunscreen, bring your off, bring an appetite and bring the mindset to have a good time. And you also want to bring a lawn chair out, and so you could just have a great time with other union workers within Illinois and Northwest Indiana. So this is a wonderful gathering, and so I'm encouraging you to come out. And so you see how we have beautiful weather like this today. So we're anticipating that we're going to have even better weather on Saturday, June the 28th, 2014. So I want you to come on out, and you're going to have a great time. We're going to have wonderful games, and it's just going to be great. So come out. You deserve it. You deserve to have a wonderful time, and that you will on Saturday, June the 28th, 2014 at the SEIU Local 73 2014 picnic. So you say, how do I get there? How do I get information? I want you to get a pen so you can come visit our website. And when you visit that website, it's going to give you information on how to get there. It's also going to give you a route-friendly map so you can know how to get there so you don't get lost. And so our website to SEIU Local 73 is www.SEIU73.org. That website is www.SEIU73.org. And when you go to that website page, you'll be able to pull up this picnic, and you'll be able to get all the information as far as the address is concerned. So there's no excuse. I want to see you there, June the 28th, 2014. It's social media time, everyone. That's right. Social media time. Like us on Facebook. And when you like us on Facebook, you go to our Facebook page. That Facebook page is SEIU 73. That's SEIU 73. And when you go to our Facebook page and you hit like, you will get updates. That's right. You're going to get updates on what's going on at your local, because it's important to know what's happening at your local. That's right. So I have another announcement to make as well. Save this date. Save this date. That's right. Save this date. Save this date, everyone. It is it's the expungement summit time. That's right. The Honorable Dorothy Brown, Clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County, presents Expungement Summit. That's right. The 2014 Expungement Summit. That will be on January the 7th, 2014. It is a full-service expungement summit for adults and juveniles. That's right. It's the application process, it's the preparation, and the filing. Registration starts at 8:30 a.m. sharp, and the doors close 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this event will be held at the Living Word Christian Center, located at 7600 Roosevelt Road in Forest Park, Illinois. What they're doing is they're bringing expungement services to our community. So a lot of people may want to find out about how to get things expunged off of their record, or they may know family members. They want to get these things expunged off their records, and sometimes these things hold us back when you go apply for a job, or you may apply for housing, and you may have something on your record, and you may apply for like public housing with Section 8 or whatever, and there may be things on your record, and you know that it should be removed. Then you need to come out to this event. So save this date. It's the Expungement Summit, Saturday, June 7th, 2014, and volunteers, attorneys will be there, so you will be able to get some legal advice. Volunteer attorneys will be on site to help with expungement and sealing the application. For information on that, we want you to give a call to 312-603-5200. That number is 312-603-5200. And also you can visit that website for Dorothy Brown at cookcountyclerkofficecourt.org. That's www.cookcountyclerkofcourt.org. Okay, so that website is Cook County Clerk of Court.org. Cook County Clerk of Court.org. So, hi, how are you today? This
Excellent.
is Michael.
It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. You made it out.
Absolutely.
That traffic's out of bed out there, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Well, you know, it's a nice day, so I guess everyone is out today enjoying it, and they're going here and there.
That's my excuse.
Oh, that's your excuse.
That's right.
All right. So we got a wonderful show for everyone today. Introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Michael Lafargue. I'm a member of the Chicago State University Presidential Library Committee. I'm a community member involved with that.
Okay. What is your organization is?
Well, I'm involved in multiple organizations. I'm the president of the West Chesterfield Community Association, a historically black community.
Okay.
A member of the Southeast Area Environmental Task Force.
Okay.
We are members of the Rosemore Community Association, and very importantly, the Developing Communities Project. I am on the Red Line Oversight Committee, and for the 95th Street area, the Panel of Development. I am the Business Development Coordinator for that. Plus, I work full time.
Okay. So you're busy.
We all are, aren't we?
Okay. So that's a good thing. So today's show, as we know, there is some concerns in Chicago with this Barack Obama library. And so today, you're representing the Chicago State University as well. And Chicago State is a historical college located right here in Chicago on the south side on 95th and State. And Chicago State, as you know, the bidding process, a lot of you all may not know, but there's a bidding process that's going to take place to have the Barack Obama Library here in Chicago. Chicago, New York, as well as Hawaii, they're all bidding. And not just Chicago is bidding, but places with different areas within Chicago is bidding, such as the north side and other areas on the south side. As the University of Chicago, as we may know, they've been having some sit-ins over there, some protests for this library as well. So what we're going to talk about here today is the proposal for Chicago State having that library on their facilities. And so we have some overheads. We have a wonderful time today, and so we're going to get everything together here. All right, and so we also have a caller that's going to call in that's also on the faculty of Chicago State University, and his name is Nick, and he also, you two are going to get some information. Now, I understand you brought your pictures and everything, and you got the...
Well, there are some pictures I emailed. I'm not sure if they got here, but
Okay.
whatever we have,
Okay,
we work with.
and that's fine. And so with this, what we want to do is we want the people at home to see the importance of this. Is this something that we want to have on the south side? Is it going to create more jobs? And anticipate that it will create jobs, and it also will create more tourism here in Chicago, in that area that may be fortunate enough to have the library there. Is going to bring in revenue for that area. So that's something that's very important. As we know, Illinois has the third largest unemployment rate in the nation, and so we're above the national average when it comes to unemployment. So the philosophy is, and the belief with this, of bringing this library here in Chicago, is, well, obviously Barack Obama is from Chicago, and so they want to bring that library here so we can try to stimulate the economy here in the inner city, and not only that, but stimulate the economy on the south side so we can have things looking great. All right, so do we have Nick on the phone right now?
Hello.
Hi, Nick. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Okay. So I want you to give a little information about yourself today to everyone.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Smith, and I am a staff member here at Chicago State University, and I'm also an alum and a member of the community, just like Michael Lafargue there. We work together very closely.
Okay. All right. And so we want to get this proposal going on. I have some questions I would like to ask you as far as this library, because we know the Obamas will actually make the announcement on who won, who got the bid, as far as Hawaii, New York, or Chicago, or the other communities within Chicago at the earlier part of 2015. So we'll know who actually won the bid. So we're going to walk you through the process so you at home can see how this really works. And I think that's helpful, because why? Knowledge is power. All right, so I want to ask you a question. And so I'm going to ask the question that maybe a lot of people may want to know at home, and maybe a lot of people around the United States of America may want to know. Why at Chicago State?
Well, and there are a number of strong reasons why at Chicago State.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago State is in the greater Chicago-Roseland community area. This is where President Obama started his career in 1985.
Correct.
He actually organized the Developing Communities Project as a non-for-profit, faith-based organization, and he fought to improve the quality of life in greater Roseland.
Mm-hmm.
He fought for jobs at the steel mills, manufacturing plants.
Yes,
this
he did.
is where he began his grassroots organizing career. Why not Chicago State?
Okay, so he begun his grassroots organizing there in Chicago. He was a community organizer before he moved on. And so why Chicago State is because historically that's an area that could really, use it as far as growth economically, and always education. Education is very important, so we want to have that so minds can come out and people can be challenged to go to the next level. And having a library there, that could definitely be a landmark to do so, to encourage people that that dream in Barack Obama's philosophy was hope. And so having that there, it is a monument of hope.
And that's one aspect of it. You're
Okay.
absolutely correct. There are other aspects of that, is that he lived in the area.
Okay.
He lived there.
All right.
It was spurring economic development. What does our community need? We need jobs.
Mhm.
We need education.
Mhm.
This will be a part of the Chicago State Public Administration core curriculum.
Okay.
This libraries typically bring symposiums and great events to their facilities. What a wonderful place for Chicago State students, professional, and community members to participate in these very important symposiums.
Now, not because I understand this is not just going to be any library.
And
This
it's
is going to be an elaborate library, everybody. It's really elaborate. And so what are some of the things and some of the services they're going to be offered? Because it's going to be more than just getting the book, Why the Cage Bird Sing.
Well,
You can
let me add something to that, guy.
All right.
And actually, the term library is not really accurate, because
Okay.
it's more like a museum and a place to hold archives.
Okay.
So when you do some research on presidential libraries, it's not to go in and check out a book, but it's more like to examine papers, the presidential papers, gifts that were given to the Obamas. It's more of a museum-type feel. However, like Michael said, it would be a host to many symposiums and academic and intellectual conversations and conferences that would create and stimulate, intellectual thought and conversations for students, faculty, and staff. There was a study just released, I don't know if you guys saw it in the news, on Monday actually, from University of Chicago, that said this library could bring up to $220 million into the city economy each year.
Correct,
And,
it did.
and the simple construction of the library could have a $600 million economic impact and create over 3,000 jobs. So, and this, like you guys both said before, some of the other places that are bidding on this library are almost already economically sound.
Correct.
So, the other argument is that, not only did he get his start on the far south side, but, the far south side is the place that actually needs the most stimulation.
Correct.
Nick, this is why I really enjoy working with you. You're absolutely correct. The Roseland community, while it has some very suburban-like areas,
Correct.
we have the highest inventory of foreclosed homes.
Yes.
Not only are those foreclosed homes foreclosed on, but they're on the market. Their days on the market exceed any other area in Chicago. That is not good. The economic development. We're talking about transit-oriented development, a library, a museum. When I say transit-oriented development, Chicago State sits right next to the Metro line.
Correct.
There's a station right there.
And it's accessible to other states, such as Tennessee and Kentucky.
Absolutely. Then you have the $240 million development at 95th and State Street. That terminal is being redeveloped.
Correct.
So with these two aspects, transit-oriented development around this station, around this community, will be a very, very strong impact and a boost.
Right, is very needed. It's very needed, and it's symbolic to the change of the time, the transition of greatness by having that library there. It shows things. Okay, so I want to ask an area. So you have given explanation of the land area, the amount of land, the type of land, and Port Authority.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, first of all, Chicago State is an absolutely gorgeous piece of land.
Yes.
It sits on 161 acres of forested area. Chicago State hosts Jazz Fest, which is our Ravinia of the South Side.
Right.
There's a forested area. It's just a wonderful facility. We want the library to be, and the museum, to be at Chicago State University. However, being a business person trained at Chicago State University and IIT, it's always good to have alternative plans to make a good decision. But the first step is for Chicago State to win the request for qualifications, which is
qualifications.
what we're working on right now.
Okay.
As we move forward, there are other
Did you want
locations.
to answer that?
What?
He's a busy man.
I can't do anything.
Okay. All right. Sorry. It's fine. That's good though. He's making things happen. When
We're
people
making
call
things.
you,
We're
that's,
making
that's a
things
good
happen
sign. I
on
like
Roseland and the South Side. We absolutely are.
Okay.
We have many very smart people on the South Side, so there are alternative locations. The concept is
Yes.
that land be purchased in the name of Chicago State University once we win the request for qualifications.
that. Okay.
And alternatives may be the Pullman area by the clock tower.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you mentioned alternatives. Those are other areas that may be a possible alternative to put,
Yes,
to have a
we
station.
really want to focus on the request for qualifications.
Okay.
And, Chicago State has so many of them. They have so many career colleges.
Correct.
They have so many programs for continuing education. They are very prominent in community activism.
Correct.
On WVON, their
Yes.
economics programs. We look at Chicago State as the beginning of a Timbuktu. Imagine, if you will, Timbuktu had great transportation. We have the Dan Ryan. We have the I-94, the Bishop Ford. We have the CTA, the Metra. Timbuktu had wonderful transportation. Timbuktu was an educational mecca. Chicago State is growing in its in what it does. But we have high schools in the area: Gwendolyn Brooks, McDade, Burnside,
Harlan.
wonderful Harlan High School. Julian, and we will talk about Harlan because this library and museum will benefit. Harlan has been on probation for 18 years. That's not acceptable to our community.
Correct.
And we feel very disrespected that the Obama Career Academy has been identified to be built on the north side in Lincoln Park.
Okay.
Why couldn't that be on the south side? And not a selective enrollment school, but a school that will benefit all of our community, where you could walk across the street and go to a wonderful school.
Correct.
But that's a side note, okay?
Okay.
Alternative locations. Imagine, if you will, our other competitors have water-based facilities. We're talking about Michael Reese and the lakefront, the lakeside development at 79th and the lake area.
Okay.
We're talking Hawaii waterfront. Well, imagine, if you will, you're standing in the Presidential Library, a part of Chicago State University's public administration facility, floor to ceiling window. And as you look out, you're looking across water, deep blue water. You see a rowing crew passing a group of pelicans on this lake. As you look further, you see grasses, deep green, wheat-colored grasses with maybe sheep grazing on those grasses because it's environmentally correct. As your eyes gaze toward the sky, you see an American bald eagle flying over, looking down upon the library.
Okay.
Now, where are you?
Lake Calumet, Michael.
Lake Calumet, the world's Chicago's largest body of water. And this is an area where Barack Obama worked to save manufacturing jobs, etc.
Correct.
The library could be at Chicago State. The museum could be at Lake Calumet. But the first step, we want the library and museum to be at Chicago State. We want to win this request for qualifications.
Okay.
And let me add something real quick, guys, because I know the show is only a half an hour. We want to make sure that everybody knows to go to the www.csu.edu website and click on the library link. We have more information about our request for qualifications packet and what people in the community, people watching this program, people who are watching it online, you guys can go to this website. Thank you so much for putting it up there. And click on to get more information about why we are bidding on this process, why we want the library in our community, and what people in the community can do to assist us. And so I encourage you all to please go to that link, as you can see, and find out more information and find out what you can do to help us. We have a petition on that page that you can sign in support of that library coming to the far south side, preferably Chicago State University. And we also have community organizations writing letters of support. So, whatever the greater community can do to assist us in this process, we would really appreciate it.
Okay. Well, we thank you all very much for joining us tonight, and unfortunately we must go, but it would probably be good to have that library over there, because 95th Street is the door to the suburbs and Chicago, and so it'd be really good. So I encourage you to visit that website. I want to thank you for coming out.
Yes.
Thank you once again, and this is another episode of SCIU Says. We want you to join us next Tuesday. We hope everyone have a wonderful Memorial Day, okay? So same bat time, same bat channel next week, and check that out. Go visit that website and possibly sign that petition. If you're in that area, you possibly want to see change. You want to see hope come to the Chicagoland area. And we thank you very much. Have an excellent weekend.